welcome to another video. Today I'm being completely unoriginal because I am running out of ideas. I am giving you my valuable opinion on UK versus US book covers because why not? As I say, everyone's done it. You've probably seen all various editions of all of the books that I am going to show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. I've picked 7. I don't know why I've picked 7. But nonetheless, I wanted to have a go and give you my valuable opinion. In other words, my completely invaluable opinion. No one cares. But here I am anyway. Let's go! The first book that I am comparing is A Darker Shade of Magic by Victoria Schwab. Forgive me for looking over their laptop, but also I will insert the book cover here, so I'll pretend I'm pondering over this book cover here, but really it's done there. So yes, A Darker Shade of Magic by Victoria Schwab. Obviously the US cover is way whiter, much more white space on the US cover than there is on the UK cover, but I think I prefer the UK cover because the UK, like the series of covers in the UK covers, I think they all go together much nicer than the US covers do. Typically I usually would say like a minimalistic cover is what I would want. Although they are all quite minimalistic, all of the US ones and all of the UK ones, I do think I prefer the UK ones just a little bit more. They look a bit more interesting, a bit more fancy, slightly more magical. Maybe I'm slightly biased because I'm from the UK, who knows. The next one I have for you is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This cover is stunning and it's got blue edges and everything. And then this cover is not. This one is like hands down easy choice. The UK cover is so much prettier than the US cover of Strange the Dreamer. I'm currently in the middle of this book. I'm listening to it on audiobook because the size of it terrifies me, and I'm really enjoying the audiobook. From what I know, from how, like, where I am in the book, I get that both of them have the moths on and the moth is important. I just way prefer this. And the blue and gold I get. I understand the importance of them colours, but I just think it's like executed so much better on the UK cover than it is on the US cover. This one looks more, it just relates to the book better, like the way it's presented kind of has the atmosphere that the book has. The book is very atmospheric and I feel like the cover kind of portrays that sort of mystical, fantastic sort of element that the book has, and the US cover just doesn't do it for me. It looks too, not childish, I don't want to say childish, but it looks too childish. I don't have a better word for that. I don't like the US cover. The UK cover wins. Next is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I have the US cover of this because I got it in an Owl Crate box, and here is the UK copy that I know a lot of people got in the Fairyloot box, but I wasn't subscribed to Fairyloot at that point. I am realising now that maybe I am completely biased because I much prefer the UK cover of this book. I know you won't be able to see it in the picture that I've got here, but I love the way with the UK copy it's black on the front and white on the back and the spine is split in half. I really like all that, and I just like the simple black and gold like explosion. I think it's really pretty, and this one I mean I haven't read the book so I don't know about relating to the contents, but this one, I don't know, I still think it's pretty. I definitely still do think it's pretty, but I don't like the typography anywhere near as much as I like the typography on the UK cover. And also there's not too much going on, it's still quite simple, but you've got the stars and the red swirls and then the big blue star, it's slightly reflective, and then the busy typography, and I just prefer the UK one. I think it's more pleasing to the eye, and I really like the split spine thing, and I kind of am upset that I ended up with a US cover of a book when I'm from the UK and prefer the UK cover, but never mind. I'm really a UK girl through and through because next we have Nevernight And the UK cover of Nevernight is gorgeous. I do have the paperback, and I know that the hardcover is even more gorgeous because of what it's like under the dust jacket. It's just so pretty, but I'm a paperback sort of person. I just prefer paperback books. But this is the UK cover, and this is the US cover. I don't like the US cover of this book at all. Again, I haven't read it, so I don't get the relevance to the contents of the book because I haven't read it. But I know it's about a girl called Mia, so I feel like the girl on this cover is probably her? I don't know though. Is it even a girl? What is it? I don't like this cover at all. This one is way prettier, and the spine is gorgeous, and then like the bird continues on the other side. It's just so pretty, and I don't like the US one. I'm bad at this, clearly. Next up, we have got Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I love this book so much. I really like this cover, and here is the US cover. Now, there is a lot of covers for this book, a lot of different editions. It's been out for a really long time, so we've had different editions all over the place. This is the cover I could find most consistently being offered as the US cover, but there are other covers out there. For example, I actually own both of the UK copies that I know of, but you can see with these, it's a similar sort of sitch with the mouse on the cover. Whereas with the US covers, the ones I've been able to find, it's a similar sort of sitch where we've got London. This particular cover you've got over London and under London. Other covers similarly have London imagery on them, which for a US copy I understand, because obviously London isn't in the US, but for a UK copy, like in the UK, London is everywhere. Obviously, geographically it's only in one place, but like there's a lot of London related things in the UK, so I think using the mouse as the UK cover makes more sense for in the UK, because, you know, we've got enough pictures of Big Ben, thank you. But yeah, I prefer these anyway, regardless of the Big Ben London imagery. I like this one more than I like this one, definitely. This cover wins in terms of UK versus UK, but I just like the simplicity of it. Also, all of Neil Gaiman's books in the UK come in this sort of bulk colour cover. The same typography with just a little something in the centre. We've got Trigger Warning here, which is yellow, same typography, something in the centre. American Gods, which is red, same typography, something in the centre, so it's consistent. And that consistency is something that I really like, which is similar to what I said with the A Darker Shade of Magic series as well. I like how it is as a whole, but yeah, the UK cover wins for me again. Next, we have Uprooted by Naomi Novik. Haven't read this one either. Here is your US cover. I am terrible. UK wins for me again on this one. I love the simplicity of this. I love the typography on this. It looks way more modern than the US cover looks. The US cover's definitely got that like old world tale sort of vibe to it. It looks more like a traditional fairy tale, but it's kind of outdated for me, whereas this cover is way more modern and I just enjoy it a lot more. It's way more simple. Also, I don't really like people on covers too much, and I know it's an illustration and it is a pretty illustration, but I just prefer the UK cover. Next up, and the last one I'm doing for you now, is Frostblood by Ellie Blake. This is the UK cover with this lovely rose here, and this is the US cover. This one is slightly more difficult because when I first saw this cover I was a bit like, what's the flower got to do with anything? And after reading it I'm still a bit like, what's the flower got to do with anything? So I don't know about the flower here, like the frozen rose. Obviously I get the frost. Whereas on the US cover, frosty and blood. It makes sense. It really does make sense. However, as being pleasing to the eye, I like the UK cover. It's less intrusive, less violent, less sharp, and the book itself, although is about a place like split by Frostbloods and Firebloods, and it is kind of a violent world, the book itself isn't really that violent or sharp or aggressive, and I think the US cover is just a bit too violent and sharp, and this one's much softer, and I feel that suits the story a little bit more, even though I'm super confused by the rose. But UK cover wins. Again, wow, that was completely dominated by me loving the UK covers more than the US covers. Sorry about that. So, there you have it. I UK through and through. I definitely prefer the UK covers of all of those books. Let me know your opinions. If you're from the US and you prefer the US covers, then maybe we're both a bit biased, I don't know. But also, tell me more differing covers where I might prefer the US cover, because that was tragic, really, for the US covers. If you've enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up, chat to me down in the comments about anything, all sorts. If you want me to do something similar to this again, I was debating doing it with cover changes rather than US versus UK, so let me know if you want me to do a cover changes one as well. I don't know, this was just a bit different and completely unoriginal because I'm running out of ideas. Yes, thumbs up, chat to me down in the comments. If you aren't subscribed and fancy subscribing, I'm always eternally grateful for that. I upload every Sunday and Wednesday on some odd days in between if I'm feeling generous, and I will see you next time. Bye!